Shopping Street in Old Mexico. A lady from the Sunshine Resort is down there searching for some special cooking ingredients. We will see what she finds.
Almost free. You have all kinds of seasonings and flavorings for your food and some canned goods and some vanilla. I'm sure we have just what you need back here under the counter.
Okay, you know, I'm very particular about my ingredients. They must be fresh and they must be exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, see.
Listen, lady, you just sit down and be quiet. We have phone calls that we have to make. Nobody can hear you in here.
What do you want? Why am I here? I want to get out of here. My friends are going to be looking for me.
Get her cell phone. That'll give us all the contacts we need.
Ooh, it's right here in her bag. Look,
Good
she
idea.
has lots of contacts.
That'll be a lot of help.
I'm going to get the rest of her bags and see what else she has.
Good idea.
What do you want? Why are you doing this to me? I want to get out of here. My friends will be looking for me.
Oh, just sit still. Don't be upset. We're just going to call one of your friends and we will work everything out with them. One. When are we going to get out of here and go on that trip you promised me? And what are we going to do with Carmen? We're not going to split the money with Carmen, are we?
No. Oh, we'll take care of the money. You know, you are the only one for me. We'll get rid of Carmen after we get this money.
I got the rest of her things now. Let's see what else she has. Oh, this looks good. How much do you think we can get for her? Looks like she has plenty of money.
$20,000 or $30,000. Lady, what's your name?
Oh, well, my name is Martha, but my friends call me Maggie. I know a lot of very important people, and they're really going to be upset when they find out what you've done here.
Oh, Martha? Martha what?
Well, Martha Ironwood. And believe me, you're going to be in a lot of trouble for this.
Yeah, lady. Listen to... We need to know who your friends are and who's most likely to be concerned about you. The one most likely to care. So who should we call?
Oh, listen, you no need to be so hard on her. She's probably frightened.
You just sit down and shut up. We have work to do.
Who should we call? Who is your friend?
Well, you might call Frances. I have known her for a long time, and we do everything together.
Here she is. You want to call her?
Sure. And you guys keep quiet. We don't want to give anything away here. I'll put this on speaker so you can hear it. Hello? Hello, Frances. You don't know me, but I have some important information about your friend Martha.
Martha? Martha who?
Maddie Ironwood.
Oh, her. Yeah, what is it?
We have arranged to detain her here. And if you want us to get her back to you, we'll need some funds to transport her.
Funds? What are you talking about?
We need $20,000 if you want her back safely. We'll give you a day or two to come up with the money.
Well, what are you talking about? I don't have that kind of money. And besides, that Maddie borrowed 2 pins from me a couple of weeks ago. And she hasn't returned them yet. And I need them to bake a casserole for a potluck dinner that's coming up here in the park. So you just tell her to give me back those pins pronto.
Look, I don't think you understand. She is in some danger. Now, how long will it take you to talk to her friends and come up with $20,000?
What? Those pins aren't even worth that kind of money. I just want her to return them to me, and soon, because I don't have all day to spend talking on the phone to you. So goodbye.
Oh, that didn't work out at all. I'm getting very upset. I'm not sure we should be doing this. I'm afraid it could turn out badly. One, I'm getting scared.
Look, you know how upset you get. You go outside, you go for a walk. When you calm down, you come back. While you're gone, I'll call her husband.
All right, but I'm no like this one little bit.
Well, I'm glad you got rid of her. She's such a wimp. She's no help at all. When are we going to dump her?
Well, as soon as we arrange for the money, you know you're the only one. Now, Maddie, certainly you have a husband or some children who are concerned about you.
Well, you know, I'm pretty sure you are fooling around. This is a very strange game. But of course, call my husband. He will be very concerned, and he will need to know what to tell the children. His name is Gregory, and he's in there, and he has lots of money.
Yes, hello?
Hello, sir. You don't know me, but I have some information about your wife you should be interested in.
What kind of information?
Well, we have her detained here for her own safety. And for you to get her back, we will need $10,000 by tomorrow night.
What? You have Mattie, my ex-wife? I'm through paying alimony or any kind of money. If this is one of her schemes, you can tell her it won't work. And tell her no money, and I mean it.
But you don't understand. Your children should be interested in this. You'll have a lot of explaining to do to them.
Where is she?
Well, not in this country.
Okay, I'll let my kids know that their mom is off to another scheme in Mexico, and they'll understand completely. Bye.
Oh, well, I do feel a little bit better now. How did the phone call to her husband go?
Not so good. Turns out he was her ex-husband.
Oh, no, now I'm getting nervous again. Oh, we need to take her back or we could be in a lot of trouble.
You got that right. There's plenty of trouble brewing here.
You are such a pansy.
Listen, there are a lot of things that we can try yet.
Who you callin' pansy? There's a lot more things going on here than you know about.
Yeah. Well, just sit down. And you may not know everything you think you know anyway.
Well, you can both say that again.
Look, we don't need all this squabbling.
Oh, you've got bigger problems than that. All of you do have.
Listen, you keep quiet unless you can tell us something that will help us get you back.
Listen, Martha, you need to quit level with us. Now, where do you live and what do you do?
Well, I live at Sunshine Resort, and I work as a volunteer there. A lot of people know me. Matter of fact, I sometimes work in the kitchen, and sometimes I just help move tables and chairs around.
So who's going to be missing you and who should we call?
Well, you might try Joanne. She's the head cook there. We worked on a lot of big projects together, and she really appreciates any kind of help I can give her in the kitchen.
Okay, let's try Joanne.
Yes, hello?
Hello, Joanne. We have your friend Martha here. She is in some danger, and if you want to get her safely back to you, you need to come up with $1,000 by tomorrow.
Martha? Martha who?
Maddie I know.
Oh, right. Now I know who you're talking about. Why do you want $1,000?
If you want to see her again, you just better find a way to come up with the money.
Well, I tell you, we don't have any other big meals coming up here. She doesn't help with the fish fry. So, I think we could get by without her help. Besides, she burned the beans last time. And that wasn't very good, you know. We had a lot of complaints about that. You will just have to work something else out. Goodbye.
I told you this isn't going to work out. We grabbed the wrong person. I'm getting worried. And I don't like this one little bit.
Look, I told you there might be difficulties. You cannot back out now.
I know, like your tone. You said this be easy. You said all sorts of things. We need to get worked out right now.
We don't need this wimp. Let her go. She isn't any help anyway.
Be quiet, let me think.
No, I think it is you we can do without. Tell her, Juan.
I need to think about this.
No.
You guys shouldn't be so angry with each other. I mean, Juan, you have really made a mess of this. Just how are you going to work this out? You know, I think you're just tired and hungry. Well, you know, I could fix you a nice meal. You just untie me, and then perhaps I could just do a little cleaning around here. It looks pretty messy to me.
Yeah, let's. She's getting on my nerves anyway.
Oh, I don't like this one little bit. How do we know what she might do next?
We can just watch her. If we don't like what she does, we can always tie her up again.
Oh, if you guys were so smart, you would have picked a person who had some friends with some money. This is not a good scheme at all. One, you need to level with Carmen and get her out of here.
No, Rosita, I think that's you that needs to get out of here. Juan and I have some plans. Tell her, Juan.
Now, Juan, you really need to clean this up or you're going to be in a lot of trouble here.
What do you mean plans? Juan and I have plans. We're going on a trip. Tell her, Juan.
Look, I can explain everything. It's just that
I bet you're good at all explaining all kinds of things. I'm getting out of here while I can and before things get worse.
You two-tiny creep. Just what kind of game are you playing? I'm going with you, Rosita. Leaving this man to his own mess.
Oh, no, don't go. I'm shocked. Don't take the car.
Well, Juan, I think you really messed yourself up there. You know, they seem like pretty nice ladies to me. You didn't need to mislead them like that.
Look,
I think there's a lesson you need to learn.
just clean up. Let me worry about this.
Okay, I was just trying to point out how difficult you make things for yourself. And I guess I'll just have to straighten a few things up here, and then I'll see what I can find to fix for you to eat. You know, everyone can use a little friendly advice every now and then.
Look, lady, we just straighten up and just don't talk. I have to try another person on your contact list. Okay, I'm thinking. You live in a resort, right? Someone runs the place and is kind of responsible for everyone, right? Who would that be?
Oh, well, that would be our park manager. She is a great person, and she really knows how to get things done. But you know, that's not really going to solve your main problem. You know, you have to really learn how not to deceive women all the time. It just doesn't work out in the end.
Look, I told you I don't want any more advice. What is the name of the park manager?
Her name is Linda. She's in my contacts.
Okay. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Park manager wouldn't want anything to happen to the residents. Yeah, it would be really bad for business. And the manager probably has all kinds of money she can get to. Yeah.
Now, let me see. What are those spices that I bought today? And where's that pretty green bottle?
Hello, Sunshine Resort.
Hello. Linda, are you the manager of the Sunshine Resort?
Well, yes, I am. And how can I help you?
Well, we have one of your residents here in custody, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want anything to happen to her.
What do you mean? Who do you have?
Martha Ironwood, and she needs your help now.
Oh, right. I know her. She lives here.
Right. And I guess it would be pretty bad publicity if something were to happen to her. You might not get a lot of business there next year, if you know what I mean.
Just what are you talking about? And why would anything happen to her?
We can get her back safely to you, but we need $500, my friend.
What are you talking about? Are you asking for a ransom? There's nothing in the budget to cover something like that. I'd have to check with the corporation for that kind of item, and I don't think they'd be very sympathetic. Where is she anyway?
Well, I'm not at liberty to say that right now. But I'm just amazed that you would think that the reputation of your park over a small amount of money like that would be less important than her. You check with your corporation, and I will call you back in half an hour, and you can let me know.
Oh, gosh, I don't know who I can get a hold of there now.
There. She said she would check, and she will. She's very efficient. Now, why don't you just go ahead and eat, and I'm sure you'll feel better when you call her back. But maybe, while you're eating, you might try to figure out how you can make it up with Carmen or Rosita. You know, I think if you just explain that you made a mistake and apologized, maybe one of them would give you another chance.
Will you please just stop with the advice? What is this you cooked anyway? I am pretty hungry.
Oh, it's just some hamburger I found in that refrigerator, and I added some of my spices, and, you know, just go ahead and eat, and I'm sure you'll feel better. Maybe you can figure out what to do with those women.
You know, at least she sounded like she would try and come up with something. You know, I think I'm going to call her back. See if we can work something out with her. She can't afford to let their business go bad on them. Say, what did you say you put in this? This is pretty good.
Oh, well, I just put in some of those spices and flavorings that I bought at the store before you so rudely grabbed me. I mean, you know, I think you would get much better results if you would learn not to be so rude to people. You know, things would work out a lot better for you that way. You just learn that lesson
You know, I think you're right. And I'm going to call her back right now and see what we can do about that.
Sunshine Resort.
Hello, Linda. Listen, you know, I changed my mind. You don't have to come up with any money at all. You just come here and get Martha. I think we can work everything out all right.
Well, that sounds a little bit more reasonable. I think the corporation will agree to that. I'll send somebody to get her right away.
We're only about 40 miles away. No trip shouldn't take more than 2 hours at the most.
Well, that isn't too bad, but it'll cost me a couple of $100 to get a driver and a car for that time period, and they might want hazard pay. Do you think you could give me some money to pay for my experience?
No, I can't do that. Just come and get her.
Well, I will have to think about that.
Listen, you sounded very rude and demanding there. I think you could get much better results if you would just learn that, you know, you need to be just a little more polite when you talk to people. Well, go ahead and finish eating that up, and I'm sure you'll feel much better. And, you know, this time try to be a little more patient.
Patience. I have totally run out of patience. Oh, I'm not feeling very well either. I'm starting to feel kind of sleepy. Yeah. I'll give her another try.
Hello, Sunshine Resort.
Hello, Linda. This is the guy from before. This is Juan. Listen, if you could just come get her, I'll give you $200.
Well, that sounds a little more reasonable. I think the corporation will agree to that, and I'll send somebody for her right away.
Call me on the phone when you're underway, and I'll tell you where you can pick her up. Say, Martha, I don't know what you put in this, but I'm getting to feel very sleepy. You know, I think I just might, I think I just might lie down here and take a nap.
You don't look so good. Why? I don't know what I put in that hamburger. I thought it was my usual seasonings. Oh, well, I think he's going to be okay. I think he'll be much better if he just sleeps it off. Oh! Well, I see Juan has his own cell phone. I wonder just how much his friends would pay to get
We are going to begin our intermission in a few minutes, but first we are glad to have a special show by the Sunshine Dancers, who are getting ready now. We have to clear the stage, so just hold tight here. The Sunshine Dancers are led by Linda Poirier, and they will be performing here very shortly for you.
cost as the band plays the last cheater's waltz. He tells her he loves her if the music plays on. He tells her he needs her when someone's at home. The ball game's all over and shout though she's lost as the band plays the last cheater's waltz.
Got my toes in the water, ass in the sand, not a worry in the world, and cold beer in my hand. Life is good today, life is good today. Well, the plane touched down just about 3 o'clock, and the city's still on my mind. Bikinis and palm trees danced in my head, I was still in the baggage line. Concrete cars and they own prison bars, like this life I'm living in. But the plane brought me farther, I'm surrounded by water, and I'm not going back again. I got my toes in the water, ass in the sand, not a worry in the world, a cold beer in my hand. Life is good today, life is good today. Adios and life conmigo. Yeah, I'm leaving GA. And if it weren't for tequila and pretty senoritas, I'd have no reason to stay. Adios and bye conmigo. Yeah, I'm leaving GA. Gonna lay in the hot sun and roll a big fat one and grab my guitar and play. Her body's been kissed by the sun. And coconut replaces the smell of the bar, and I don't know if it's her or the rum. I got my toes in the water, ass in the sand, not a worry in the world of cold beer in my hand. Life is good today. Life is good today. Adios and vaya con Dios, a long way from TA. Yes, and all the muchachas, they call me Big Papa when I throw pesos their way. Adios and vaya con Dios, a long way from TA. Someone do me a favor and pour me some Jaeger, and I'll grab my guitar and play. By the lake, put my ass in a lawn chair, toes in the clay, not a worry in a world of PBR on the way. Life is good today. Life is good today.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. We'll take around a 10-minute intermission, so get up, stretch, move around a little bit, and we will be back. Our next situation, Pat, an elderly lady, alone in her house, calls a neighbor to come help her. Let us see if the neighbor is able to help.
Hello, Harley.
Hello?
How are you, dear?
Hi, Pat. Good to hear from you. Well, this is a sure nice day. What are you up to?
Well, I'm okay, but I started this new puzzle, and I'm so confused. There's no corners. I can't find any edges, and I just can't do it. Can you come over and help me?
I think I have time for that today. And I have pretty good knowledge about these puzzles. I'll be right over.
Oh, good. Well, that's why I called you. This puzzle's just a killer. I knew you could help me. Come in. Harley. Oh, Harley. You scared the life out of me.
Sorry.
Okay.
What do we have here?
Well, according to this puzzle, it says it's a rooster.
A rooster?
Yes, a rooster.
Well, let's look at it. Let's look at the pieces here.
Okay.
Look at the box and see what we have.
Okay. Well, I got it all here. But I tell you, I just can't get it started.
Oh, boy. Man, I got some bad news.
What's the bad news, Harley?
We're not going to be able to get a rooster out of this.
Why, Harley, why? The pieces are all here.
Well, I think we should just sit down and have some tea here. Just relax a little bit, okay?
Okay, Harley. I'll pour it for you, dear.
Oh, thank you.
I feel better now. Can we get started on the rooster?
Well, if you insist.
What's the matter, Harley?
I think what we have to do
What?
is take these cornflakes and put them all back in the box.
You know, old age is coming at a very bad time.
I know. I'm planning to retire and live off our savings. But I don't know what I'm going to do for the second week.
It's so hard to plan for things. I joined a support group for procrastinators last year, but they haven't met yet.
Yeah, I think it's, don't worry about planning. Just let things come as they want, you know?
I think you're right, Harley. I think you're right.
I think so.
Yes.
Well, Pat is not the only senior having difficulty in today's world. We turn now to Nancy, who's having her own trouble with computers. She's also going to need the help of a neighbor.
How many of you have bought a new computer in the last year only to find out it has Windows 8 installed on it? Oh my gosh, it doesn't operate like any other Windows that we've ever had. Instead of pushing the little X to close something out, you swipe it down. Or you swipe it on, you find where on and off at. It's just making me pull out my hair. So the other day I got an email from Microsoft. They said I could download Windows 10 for free. Oh, I'm going to do that. So yesterday was the day. I sat down and I was downloading it and downloading it. All of a sudden, errors after errors after errors, just problems all the time. Oh, I thought, what am I going to do? Then I thought, my next door neighbor, Georgie, he's just 11 years old, but man, is he good. Oh, you should see his bedroom. There's a computer over here and lights blinking, and it's talking to a computer over here with lights blinking, and it looks just like mission control. So I call him up and I say, Georgie, can you come and help me? I have lots of problems. He said, sure, I'll be right over and help you. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. He sat down here, 3 little clicks, and the problem was solved. And there he goes walking out the door with this big grin. He's such a sweet little boy. I said, Georgie, what was wrong? Please tell me. He says, well, it was an ID10T error. Oh, I didn't want to appear to be too stupid, but I thought I've got to ask in case it happens again. An ID10T error? What is that? Oh, he just got the biggest grin on his face, and he said, you write it down. I think you'll understand. So today's the day. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to figure this out and solve this puzzle. Let's see. He said the first letter was an I. Or coming it up. Oh, those eyes can appear up anywhere. Let's see. Oh, I know what that was. I was on the internet. Sure, that's what it is. That I has to be for internet. Let's see. The next letter he said was a D. I'll try to find that D better. Oh, there. D. I know, sure, that's simple. I was downloading to my D drive. Oh, see, I'm getting this all figured out. And the next letter, oh, it was a 10, that's what it was. 1, 0, 10. Oh, that's the easiest one of all. I was downloading Windows 10. How much easier could this be? But the next letter, I can't. Let's see. He said it was a T. Anything that could be. On earth, he told me if I just write it down, he thought I could get it. It was a... Oh, that Georgie, he's just a little B-R-at.
Our final presentation tonight takes place in the lighthouse. Since the 1700s, lighthouses in Europe and North America have been cared for by lighthouse keepers and their families. Today, the only country that continues this custom is Canada, which still has about 50 lighthouses, which they keep staffed with keepers. Our story takes place in the late 1800s, when they were still using oil to light the way up into harbors around dangerous rocks, guiding ships in at night. The keepers kept the light going in storms, and they kept the glass clean. Lighthouse keepers were able to rescue stranded passengers from shipwrecks, and many times. But the keepers and their families led a very lonely and isolated existence. Living on an island in the North Atlantic year-round with only occasional trips into town meant that they didn't have much in comfort or entertainment. The next story is centered on two such keepers and their struggle with the elements, and villains, and a rescue crew. We may need a little help from the audience. The story begins in a barren and windswept island in the North Atlantic. A ship has gone off course and crashed on the island with 5 persons aboard. There are only 2 people on the island, a very ancient keeper of the lighthouse, speedy little fellow, and his young and beautiful daughter, Ginger. Currently, they have rescued a shipwrecked passenger and are trying to notify the Coast Guard of their need for assistance. The 5 passengers include a successful businessman and his wife, John and Carol Henderson. They were cruising and looking for opportunities to expand their business. Another passenger was Beulah Puckett, and over the hill, burlesque queen, who was actually hoping for a little peace and quiet on this trip. And the ship's captain, Kenneth Braveheart, who was distraught by the mishap of his ship and desperate to care for his passengers and to get them back safely to their port of call. And we have a villain, the dastardly Schmedley. Actually secretly caused the ship to be wrecked in the first place by distorting the compass with a magnet. He's really a pirate intending to steal the gold that the ship was carrying to another port. The passengers have been on the island for 5 days trying to make contact with someone who can rescue them. They can sleep on the ship, but they must come to the lighthouse to get messages that come in over the wireless. Most evenings, they gather at the humble home of the lighthouse keeper for tea and some dinner to see what messages might have come in. Ginger opens the door and greets them as they come in from the cove. They're all hoping for good news from the day, but the lighthouse keeper has nothing new to report, and they are so discouraged. Mrs. Henderson usually prefers to preside over the serving of the tea. And she's a little put out that they don't have very good china to serve it on. She's trying to make the best of a most difficult situation. John Henderson is concerned that he has had no contact from his banker or his stockbroker, and he's anxious to get the financial news from home. He's also a little more than interested in Beulah Puckett. Kenneth Braveheart, the ship's captain, is very unhappy that there's been no news from the ship's company. And he is upset about his supposed mistake that caused the wreck in the first place. Ginger does her best to cheer him up, but he is still very unhappy. Schmedley is glad that there's been no news of a rescue. He has friends coming that will help him remove the gold from the ship that he does not want to. Before dinner can be served, Ginger has to go to the lighthouse stairs and light the lantern at the top. She starts usually way before dark. The light is lit to warn the ships away from the dangerous rocks around the island. This is her job. Every night she trudges up the stairs and lights the lantern. She has to do it because her father is no longer able to climb the stairs. Each night she has hoped desperately for some rescue from the sea. After Ginger descends, she gets the porridge, which is all they really have to eat for dinner, and some fairly stale bread. Carol Henderson is at it again. She continues to be upset about the quality of the dinnerware that they're eating from. Beulah continues to be annoyed with the attention from John and Kenneth. Kenneth continues to worry about his skills as a navigator. Only Smedley is really satisfied with the way things are going. He knows his friends should be there shortly. Carol Henderson is also upset and concerned about her wardrobe, which is not holding up well in the colder climate. And obviously the state of her makeup has become an issue too, as it's slowly sliding off her face. Smedley is interested in a relationship with Ginger. Primarily, he does not want her to interfere with his plan to get the gold from the ship. And he does not want her getting help too soon. In fact, he would be just as glad if the rescue ship would get lost trying to find the island. Therefore, no one would be paying real close attention. Smedley sneaked up the stairs. Slowly, he found his way to the lighthouse and extinguished the lantern at the top. He creeps back down the stairs in an effort not to be missed. And he fits back in with the crowd at dinner. Ginger is busily cleaning up from dinner and is sorry the passengers are so upset. She tries to reassure all of them that help will come. Her father is also worried about how long it's taken for help to come and not too sure what he can do about it. Eventually, they all leave and return to the ship for the night. As you can see, most of them are very dejected and unhappy. The keeper learns that a ship has been sent to rescue them. And they request that the lanterns stay lit all night, that they'll be able to find the island by the next day. After explaining the good news to his daughter, the lighthouse keeper goes out to notify the passengers in their ship of the better developments. While he is gone, Kenneth Braveheart comes into the lighthouse and sits down to talk with Ginger about his concerns for the ship and, of course, the other passengers. She tells him the good news, and he is relieved to learn that help is on the way. The two of them share a warm, happy moment. And he returns to the ship. Smedley comes in to see what's going on. Ginger tells him the good news, and he is immediately distraught and unhappy. He tries to convince Ginger that there is not enough fuel for the lantern and it might not be possible to keep it lit that night. She assures him that she should be able to do so. He leaves deep in thought. That's deep. Ginger continues to straighten up and work on things for dinner with a much happier attitude. Eventually, Beulah enters, and she is happier too for the news about the rescue. They sit down together, and she starts to tell Ginger a little bit about her career as a burlesque queen and how she kind of misses the opportunity to perform. Ginger has an idea. She suggests that maybe she could do a brief show for the group that evening. It would cheer them all up. Beulah indicates that she will think about it as she returns to the ship. The lighthouse keeper returns, and he and Ginger begin to prepare for the evening's gathering. She checks with him about the fuel for the lantern. He checks the telegraph to see if there's any information coming in. And the day slowly passes. That evening, the group gathers again in a much happier mood. And all but one of them is smiling. Carol Henderson usually presides over the afternoon tea and is almost cheerful about the dinnerware that she's using. Ginger goes happily up the stairs to light the lantern. Now that's happy. And then comes down the stairs. She loves these stairs. And upon arriving, she looks for more porridge for dinner. As dinner is served, each of them engage in quiet conversation about their ordeal. All quite happy about the opportunity for rescue, except for the dastardly Schmedley. After a more cheerful conversation at dinner, that's cheerful. And after their porridge, some clearing of the table and chairs, Beulah has agreed to do a short show for the group. Way too much. But while they are engrossed in the show, Smedley creeps up the stairs. He forgets which way is up. Upon arriving at the top, he extinguishes the lantern and pours out any remaining fuel. His mother loved him. that only Smedley has. And when he rejoins the group, really no one has noticed his absence. And the group remains in a good mood and the hopes of rescue the next day. After a fun evening and a good meal, they leave to go back to the ship cheerfully. About 2 hours later, Kenneth returns in a great panic. He has noticed the light has gone out and he wants to get it turned on again. Ginger races up the stairs. He is horrified to find the light is out. And that the fuel is gone. She races back down the stairs. And begins a search for more fuel. The lighthouse keeper has some in reserve. He refills the fuel container and Ginger races back up the stairs. And begins to search. She finds some. And she goes up, refills the lantern, and turns it on. Smedley sneaks in and creeps up off Kenneth, knocking him out. Smedley then starts up the stairs after Ginger. Other way, Smedley. There you go. He carefully grabs her. She yells for help, and he does her best to fight him off. Downstairs, Kenneth begins to come to, and he staggers up the steps. His stagger is faster than Smedley's run. The struggle continues and Kenneth is able to intervene and overpower Smedley, who flees down the steps. Ginger quickly relights the lantern, and the two of them move down the steps together. You can't figure out which way he's down. On the way down, Ginger becomes concerned about a wound on Kenneth's head and begins to care for him lovingly. Her father returns. The lighthouse keeper enters. And the two men decide to settle down for the evening and guard the lighthouse for the night. The next morning, the keeper learns from the wireless that the rescue ship has found the island and they're bringing an arrest warrant for the dastardly Smedley. They have captured his accomplishments. They have captured his accomplices and learned from them that Smedley caused the original shipwreck. A constable is coming to shore to arrest Smedley. let's return to the lighthouse to enjoy the good news together. The lighthouse keeper and Kenneth are overjoyed with the news. Mr. and Mrs. Henderson are greatly relieved that they'll be able to get back to their usual lifestyle of dinner there. Beulah Puckett, of course, is considerably revived from her performance in the previous night, and she is considering a return to her previous career. With the emphasis on the career. At least, maybe on a part-time basis. Smedley has been captured and is led away to the rescue ship by a constable. Kenneth is so pleased with the help he received on the island that he decides he wants to stay and be with Ginger. Ginger is overjoyed, gives him a big sloppy wet kiss. All is well that is well. This concludes our show. I'd like to introduce the cast of you, starting with the Lighthouse crew. Come on out, Lighthouse crew. Oh, there's more now. Check out Beulah's shoes. Was played by our own Harley Durst. His daughter Ginger, played by Nancy Steele. And Captain Kenneth Braveheart was Ed O'Neill. And Beulah Puckett was played by our own Mr. Henderson was played by Doug Trentfield. Mrs. Henderson was played by the bubbly Pat Youngling. And then, of course, the dastardly villain Smedley was our own. And the very able constable was Al Bercy. Folks. The Mexico skit will come on stage. Martha was played by, well, my favorite, Jerry Bateman. Juan was played by Doug Trentfield. Was played by Nancy Aso. Was played by Mary Jo Pope. And Francis was played by Kay Thompson. And may I introduce you to our director, who so ably put all this together. I call her the Steel Magnolia, but it's Nancy Steele.
All right. Well, this concludes our show. We're glad you enjoyed it. You did seem to enjoy it. I hope you'll come back next year. We're going to be needing some more performers and helpers of all sorts. I know we have some visitors here from other parks, so I think I'd like to have them go first to dessert. And we do have a few sugar-free desserts, so I hope you'll leave those for the people who really need them. And Let's see.
White men. Marv Branch, his wife. Lots and lots of people. I said the piano, right? Okay. We really, really want to thank Nancy and appreciate everything she's done. She stepped up and into the role as director this year. I did hear some laughs, so I think she did a great job. Thanks again, Nancy.
If we can get our lights on then. We have Bob Lackey on lights and John Cartwright on the piano and Mark Branch there. And all right, our builder extraordinaire this year has been Joe Bateman. He built curtains, sets. He did an awful lot of work, and we really, really appreciate Joe Bateman. Also our narrator.
Okay, those people visiting our park, the line starts back at the table. Rise up and go. I know who you are. And then I'll come down to let them go just like it was Sunday night. Go back and go. No count. No count. Oh, we had a lot of visitors. Look at this. All the girls are good looking.